radio hit as well. And they remade this song for their best of.
Oh, Sweetest Thing?
Sweetest Thing. This was played on K-Rock a lot.
This was huge when they re-released it.
Yeah, and was really big at the time.
Yeah. But then they kind of kept the basic track but added new vocals or something?
Yeah, something like that. But I love this version of it. This record actually has a lot of great B-sides because apparently they did another session. This is what I read today. They did another session because they felt the album was incomplete.
Really?
And they wanted to add more songs to it. And Brian Eno said, guys, we got to put the record out. And so they put it out and again said, it's not right, but here's the album.
That's amazing because the album feels the most complete.
They have 11 songs on it. Bono apparently wanted to make it a double album and put 11 more of those B-sides on it.
Never a great idea.
He fought for it. He wanted to make it. And then The Edge, I believe, was like, dude, shut the fuck up about this double album business.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's a testament to how great friends they are that they overcame that. Because if someone were to talk to me like that...
Hey, bro over.
Yep, brover.
I wonder, they've never put out a double album, have they?
No, I will say that technically,
No Line
Pop is a double LP.
Really?
Yeah, that is long enough to be a double LP.
They could have dropped like 4 songs from that album.
Isn't that song? I'll check to see how many. But that album has so many tracks.
You know what they do a lot, and you can tell when they don't
12
like
tracks.
when they don't like one of their albums is when they start releasing remixes as B-sides.
Yeah,
not like dance versions, but
just like totally remixed.
Yeah.
Staring at the Sun, they did that. We'll talk about that record at some point.
And Gone, which is I think the one stone cold classic from Pop.
I will say, just to hype an upcoming episode, I don't mind Pop.
Yeah. Side 2's got some real doozies on
I don't mind it, especially if you get all the singles. They have some great B-sides on it. Anyway, we'll talk about that. Okay.
But I will say about Joshua Tree, what you were saying about a lot of the songs being kind of like overplayed in your mind, like you're just sick of them. The other day, when I was listening to it, I put on Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For. It still sounds great. Like the production is really detailed and rich and beautiful.
You know which one I guess I can't really hear I'm sort of sick of is Below the Blue Sky.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of sick of it.
Yeah.
The Rattle and Hum did it no favors.
Yeah, that's I feel like Rattle and Hum kind of burned me out on that song too, because they blew it up too big. Whereas if you listen to it on Joshua Tree, it's a pretty tight, contained
The first time I heard it, I was like, whoa, that's a pretty intense.
Yeah.
And we talked about the US Festival when you were intense, literally.
Yeah.
And
so you mean like not in a tent, you mean in intense.
I thought it was like
intense.
Like Adam, these shows they did, they would play them at these shows.
Right.
When they would add them.
Right.
And it was intense. And I would get out of it.
Like
and I would,
intense?
No. I was staying in a tent, and I would get out of it and go watch the show.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
Intense. Like intense.
Intense, yeah. Okay, great. So we agree on that. So,
yeah, I think that just as if you listen to Thriller, you're probably a little sick of Thriller and Billie Jean, and
it's hard to get sick of those songs. As complicated as my relationship to Michael Jackson's personal life is.
Yeah.
I will say that Michael Jackson Thriller is one of those records that it's like our good friend Jarrett Grody, who's a very funny comedian, had a really funny joke about R. Kelly's Ignition remix is so good that it should excuse him from having sex with that 15-year-old and the next one.
Yeah.
So
you can have sex with another 15-year-old, you're scot-free.
Yeah. That song is so good, and that's I think Michael Jackson, the more that I hear about him, he's just a horrible human being. And you know what? I mean, people are sick and they have, I'm sure his growing up was no picnic.
But Thriller is just
so fucking good that
profound masterpiece.
I listen to it even though I have, and I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I mean, Wanna Be Starting Something, PYT.
I don't know what those songs are, but
oh, they're on Thriller. They're on the album.
oh god,
I thought you really liked this album.
no,
Maybe not.
I'm
Maybe
thinking,
not.
I'm thinking of it goes ease on down the road.
You're thinking of the soundtrack to The Wiz.
That's the one it's so good.
Also, Bad. So many great songs on Bad.
He really kind of lost the plot with Dangerous, but at the time I liked it. By the way, you're listening to You Talking You Two to me.
But Black and White, Black or White or whatever, that's a great song too.
What?
Yeah, that's a great song.
You know, that video incorporated morphing, which
Morphing.
was it was first used in the movie Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Jean Lanzis directed the Black or White video.
Yeah. The director of The Twilight Zone.
Uh-huh.
With Vic Morrow.
Oh, boy.
By the way, this is I Love Films. Let's get back to U2. So we have, I mean, this record catapulted them at the top of the charts.
Yeah, I was watching
across the board hit.
The documentary From the Sky Down, which I'm going to lend you the Blu-ray of. I have a Blu-ray player.
Is that what they
like
mean?
A side note, I have a player.
When they say From the Sky Down, is that the sky is blue? So is that why they called Blu-rays Blu-rays, because of that?
Every Blu-ray is called From the Sky Down.
Okay.
And then the title of whatever movie you're watching is in parentheses at the bottom.
Okay, great.
They were saying that because they were kind of explaining Rattle and Hum and why they did it and how much it seems like it really haunts them still.
Yeah.
Like they're still embarrassed.
We'll talk about it in the next episode, but it set them back dramatically.
Yeah, but Joshua Tree was so huge that they're on this tour and this album just takes over, and they start the tour as an arena band, selling out arenas everywhere, and then suddenly
graduate to stadiums,
and they don't have enough material for a stadium show. They don't have video assist back then, so they're just like lost at sea playing stadiums, and they don't know how to do it. And
which, by the way, they talk about. They say, I believe, the Unforgettable Fire tour, they did not feel like they played well.
Oh, really?
They said when they first started, they were not ready for it. And they came off pretty, and they had a lot of disagreements about it.
Yeah, apparently, it's interesting. It's because they use a bunch of Rattle and Hum footage in this documentary that was not in the movie of Bono freaking out backstage.
Going, oh my God, you guys!
It's like, oh my God!
I think everybody hates us! Bono, by the way, call us.
Listen, I want some t-shirts.
Hey, man,
T-shirt.
Remind me to lend you that Blu-ray.
Yeah, definitely. How are you going to get it to me?
Do you have a Blu-ray player?
I do. Yeah. Well, hey, look, I work in Hollywood.
Yeah.
How are you going to get it to me?
How many Blu-rays do you have?
Honestly?
Yeah.
Probably one.
Which one?
From the Sky Down.
Well,
parentheses Citizen Kane.
Oh. Greatest movie ever made. Can we do a quick episode?
Let's do a quick episode of I Love Films. Hey, this is Scott with I Love Films.
This is Scott, and I love films.
Not as much as I love films.
That's debatable.
We'll debate it maybe on a future episode, but we don't have time for that this episode. So we're talking about Citizen Kane.
Great movie. You know, one of the things this movie is really famous for is the word rosebud. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert, it's his shoes.
Yep. He had rosebuds on the soles of his shoes.
Yep.
And
Paul Simon got the idea
for diamonds on the sole because, as we all know, rosebuds are the diamonds of the herbiculture family.
Absolutely.
And that's all you need to know about Citizen Kane.
Great episode.
Great episode, buddy. What were we talking about? I don't remember. Oh, yeah. So they get to be really huge. They're on tour for... Oh, you were talking about From the Sky Down. They're freaking out. He's freaking out back
They're
there.
all freaked out, and they decide to make this little documentary. We'll talk about that in the Rattle and Hum episode.
Yeah.
But it's just
your
kind
main
of
point was what?
just that the Joshua Tree was so big that it just caught them off guard. Like, they were trying to be the biggest band in the world, but when it happened, they were not ready for what it entails.
I mean, we talked about it on the first episode. Sure, they thought we'll sell 100 million records.
Right.
But
they had no idea.
120?
No idea.
No
idea.
idea.
Get up to 120.
No. So they, at this point, you got the cover of Rolling Stone. They're rubbing shoulders with luminaries of the rock and roll scene. Cover of Time, the concept.
No, Time Magazine.
Oh, Time Magazine, sorry. And they're the biggest band in the world right now, and they are viewed as, and by the way, they're 27 years old, and they are viewed as big as the Beatles, as big as the Stones, as big as Dylan, as big as Springsteen.
But then when they go and...
As important, I should say.
Yeah, but then Rattle and Hum is all about them kind of putting themselves up there with those people.
And going, hey, we deserve to be, and they get fucking blasted for it. We'll talk about them in the next episode. Final thoughts on, what are we talking about? The Joshua Tree?
The Joshua Tree? I think it's totally great. I still put it on from time to time.